fat fingered that. There we go. Welcome to the podcast, everybody. I'm Tony.
I'm Tralana.
This is Two Teas in a Pod. And we are kind of celebrating a little bit. It's close, but it's kind of like my birthday weekend. So we just got done not too long ago with Trelana's big birthday bash. But I wanted to talk about how we have differing ways of celebrating our birthdays and why that is that way. Because I don't think you really know why I don't like birthdays. Well, my own birthday. I like everybody else's birthday, but I don't really celebrate my birthday very much. But we did do fun things. But they were more based around maybe nostalgia for me. So we went to a flea market, which I know doesn't sound too exciting to a lot of people, but I love it. I love people that wheel and deal, and I support local businesses. That's the important thing. You always have to support your local businesses. And if you're into I don't want to say antique, it's my version of antiquing. Like if you're like, oh, I want to go look at antique fucking teapots or something. I am that way, but with like like it's called the Swaparama, and it's I think it ties into when you look at it, like the big websites like Craigslist, and then Facebook Marketplace took over. And then you had OfferUp and Let It Go and all these apps where people are just selling their old stuff. And there's something true about the idea of one man's trash is another man's treasure. And I love going and seeing other people's trash in a very disorganized and crammed together fashion. Wait, going into the Swaparama, what was your expectation? And then when we got there, what was the like? Did it meet or did it kind of look like what you had in your mind when I said, "Hey, I really want to go to the Swaparama"?
I mean, so obviously, I've been to flea markets and whatever, so I just had that image in my head of a normal flea market, and the only thing, well, I thought it was weird that you had to pay to get in, even though it was only $2 or whatever. But I thought that was weird.
We get that
And
money. That's for
then
all the COVID cleaning.
sure. And then I mean, I haven't been to a flea market in a while, so maybe they all charge. I don't know. But then, yeah, I mean, it was essentially like what I expected it to be, I guess. There was not, I mean, like I told you that, I thought there would be more knockoff, purses or
Oh
sunglasses
yeah,
or
like Louis Vuitton and stuff.
yeah, I thought there would be more of that stuff to look at. I mean, there was weird, the sneakers and the
Oh
clothing and
man,
whatever, but
the worst knockoff sneakers ever.
yes.
Those Jordans. Oh my god. So we just bought the oldest. He wanted a pair of, I don't know, Air Force One Jordan
Heritage, whatever.
Heritage
Yeah.
something. I've never spent that much money on a pair of shoes in my entire life, and I have a lot of shoes, but I've never spent over $100 on a pair of
I
shoes.
mean, I do, but that's because I wear Uggs and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think I don't mean to genderize, but I think women's shoes are generally a little bit more expensive. Not that men can't buy expensive shoes, but
Yeah.
I think less men care about we
Well, and I don't mi so all of my shoes are at least $200 a pair, but
yikes.
but I don't
Not anymore. I'm just kidding.
I make my own money and I'll do with it as I
I mean,
please. Anyways,
yeah, well, I'm sure someone's gonna comment or something that
no, that would only be if
I'm
I
a
put it on
tyrant or something.
that would only be if I put it on TikTok.
Yeah. Well, we don't do that
I
anymore.
haven't done that for a while. Anyways, so no, so but I don't mind spending that on my shoes because I'm a grown adult and I don't, do dumb shit and ruin my sneakers. And also, they like I my feet aren't growing, so it's not like I have to worry that
What?
in 3 to 6 months, I mean, unless you're gonna knock me up. Sometimes pregnant ladies' feet grow, but anyways, but so my feet aren't growing. So like when I buy a pair of shoes, they are mine until they fall apart. And like I said, like that's a while because I take care of my stuff. So it's not like I'm spending $200 every 3 months or, whatever, versus like for Giuseppe, I won't spend, $200 on a pair of shoes because every 3 months I have to buy that boy
Right.
new shoes because I don't know what he does to them, but he like drags his feet in weird way. I don't know what he does, but he destroys sneakers in 3 months or less and or grows out of them or a combination thereof. So,
Well, you know, I agree.
yeah,
Even Nicholas is a size
15,
14, no,
14, 15,
14.
14. I don't remember. It was
Nicholas
ginormous.
is a size. It's the biggest size they carried in the store. And he's only 14. So
It's crazy.
so he's unless he's done, maybe he hit his growth spurt early and he's done. But chances are I'm gonna have to
Hire
buy
people
buy more shoes.
to
Well, I'm
make
gonna have to. I'm
make
gonna have to hire.
custom shoes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to hire a cobbler,
Yeah.
and he's gonna wear, or I'm just gonna carve him like clogs, and he can walk around in wooden shoes, like the Dutch. Is that a Dutch thing?
I think so.
I don't know,
Yeah.
but yeah, 14s, and I bought him, but they're not Jordans. They're Nikes, but they weren't Jordans, and even those were $100, I think, somewhere
I mean, I
there
feel like that's
around.
like the cheapest you can get
Like that,
for
like Nike, like $100, unless there was a couple that were like $85,
yeah.
and then even the knockoff Air Force One Heritages that we bought him. Well,
No,
we didn't buy him
we
the
didn't buy
knockoff. The,
those.
the real ones we bought him were like, I don't know, 180, 160, somewhere in that range.
They were 180. I had a discount.
Okay,
Yeah.
so $160, and even the knockoffs, which I picked them up and I looked at them and I was like, there was like stitching around
It was
like the swoosh sign wasn't stitched into it. It was like put on top and stitched on.
so bad.
So bad. Now it's possible that that was just a mock shoe, like a display shoe.
I would have needed to see the
I
real
would have,
deal.
but they didn't have his size anyway, so it
Yeah.
wasn't I didn't want to waste any time on it. But that if I hope that was a mock shoe, because if someone went in and bought that and it was $85 for a knockoff pair.
And when you pulled the tongue of that shoe out,
Yeah, and
it was
it,
so
it
they
looked
were
like
bad.
a prototype. Like it came off an
They
assembly line it had a stamp on it with
yes.
word like
Yes.
the heritage, and I'm like,
They were so
okay.
bad. So bad.
But that's what I love about that's part of the beauty of the Swaparama. Like, so I used to go to the Swaparama when I was a young kid. My uncle, who passed away not many years ago, but years ago, it was, and I mean no disrespect to my father, and I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but my dad was a very hard worker. He had a very physically intensive job. He worked for a chemical company, mixing drums of chemicals for like printing presses and other things like that. He worked in this factory, and he worked a lot. He's got a good work ethic. I would never say that he doesn't. So, when it would be weekends with dad, my dad wasn't really wasn't really around a lot. And but it's not, I don't blame him for it, cuz maybe at the time and little after, I was kind of more like, this dude, like, he's just not around. But when you see it from that lens, and then you grow up, and then you go, no, because I was in that position when I was younger, with lesser of an education, and I was working 2 jobs, sometimes 3, to just have enough money to buy a pack of diapers, and I didn't didn't have a lot of free time, and a lot of time I was tired, and my dad would sleep, and it was a very, like, get dropped off at dad's on the couch. My dad refuses to sleep in a bed. Even to this day, he doesn't sleep in a bed. It has to be a couch. My dad would sleep on the couch. And I think a lot of that was because I'm gonna go off on this tangent. But a lot of that was because my dad lived in a 2-bedroom apartment. Okay. My grandmother owned a 2-flat in the city. And my aunt would live on the first floor. My dad would live on the second floor. And it was only 2 bedrooms. So my uncle also stayed with my dad. My uncle stayed in his bedroom, and me and my sister would sleep in the other bedroom. My dad had to sleep on the couch. So my dad was basically sleeping on a couch from as far as back as I could remember. So when we would get dropped off my dad's, it was very like, just kind of play Nintendo. I used to play. My dad would buy like a Dungeons and Dragons type board games, but only so I could play with the little pieces. We wouldn't even play the game. I would just make things up with the little pieces. And but my dad always made sure to, we were always fed and taken care of. But once a weekend, we would go to the movies maybe, or we would, go do something, and go to the park or something. But a lot of times my dad would be zonked out. So my uncle would kind of do a lot of the activities with me, especially. Um, I think just because I'm a boy, and that involved like building model rockets. Me and my uncle used to build model rockets. My uncle used to get kits on building radios, and we would build radios.
Mm.
And he would take me to a place called Enchanted Castle, which was like an arcade where we'd go, and that's where my love of watches comes from. Did I ever tell you that? I love watches. Shout out to the wife for getting me my new Apple Watch for my birthday. Thank you. See, it segues in. It's all perfect. But my love for watches comes from the Enchanted Castle of all places. They had a claw machine and in it was like cheap knockoff jewelry, like the worst, like plasticky, but coming from a 6, 7, 8-year-old, I was like, that's the fucking tits, man. Like, I want that. Look at that watch. It was this black watch, and it had like a gemstone on each hour, like obviously plastic. The worst $3 watch you could ever find, but I was like, that's so cool. And one day, me and my uncle won it from the claw machine, and I immediately put it on, and thought I was the coolest motherfucker around. And then 10 minutes after getting home, the gemstones just fell off the face of the watch like it was broken. But for that 45 minutes, I was like walking around like this. What's that? What do you So it's just a lot of memories like that. And the Swaparama was also one of those places we would go, and they used to have different booths, and people would sell like knockoff, like bootleg video game, like those 256 in one Nintendo games, or a lot of stuff that was not imports, but a lot of stuff that you didn't see at Toys R Us or whatever. And my uncle would buy me a couple of Nintendo games. I'd go home, I'd play them for 7 hours and have a great time. My uncle went there for the jewelry because they would have jewelry, and you saw it was a lot of jewelry stands. Predominantly, I would say it's jewelry,
Yeah.
like by the foot. Like they would have rollers, and you'd be like, "How long you want?" And you'd be like 18 inches. And they'd roll out 18 inches. They'll cut it. They'll clasp it, and you've got like they say it's gold. It's probably gold plated, but whatever. My uncle loved. He's a big dago. He loved big gold and silver chains. So he would and big rings, and he would do that, and it was always so fun. I'd get some Nintendo games. He'd get some knockoff jewelry, maybe an illegal thing or two, and then it was a good time. And I mean this, I love supporting local businesses. Swaparama is the epicenter of local business. That is, there's no, that is a person selling me items. Some of it might be used, some of it might be new, but there's something about it's like environmentally conscious. It's all the things. We're reducing, we're reusing, and we're recycling.
Sure.
So it holds a very special place. I haven't been there in 10-ish years, probably more than that, probably closer to 15 years. I was very, very young when I went with a friend of mine because he wanted to buy shit for his car audio. But the last time I was there, I bought a switchblade, and not one of the legal variety, we'll say. And I have an affinity for cutting utensils, and I wanted to look at the merchandise. So we took Nicholas, and we got some pointy sharp things, legal ones though,
Mhm.
and we got a good deal, if you ask me.
You're welcome.
See, Trelena has this thing in her brain
No, I
where
don't.
she thinks that because she has a twat between her legs,
No,
that
I
she
don't.
walks in and just gets deals. Like she
No, I don't.
facilitated that deal.
It was a joke because he said because you had a lady with you that he
Yeah,
would make the deal. I wouldn't say that otherwise.
yeah,
It was literally because he said that I was making that joke.
yeah.
That was all.
I made the deal.
You did. You did.
And I told Nicholas, I was like, yeah, I hope you were paying attention because this is how you do business.
Always take a lady.
See?
That's not.
Stupid. You don't always take a lady.
Did you
In
just
fact,
call me stupid?
no, the idea to you always take a lady is stupid. In fact, I would say it's the opposite. I would say if you were ever to go to a salesperson, you better bring me, or they're going to try to fuck you, metaphorically and physically.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Let's see how good of a deal you get when we have to go get you a new car. Go by yourself. See if they even pay you any attention. The
Of
first
course,
thing the
of
salesperson's gonna.
course they're gonna pay me
Okay,
attention.
no, I meant in terms of like their, and I'm not saying it's right. It's completely wrong. Judging people gender uh, in sales. But believe me, if a woman walks into a car lot, the salespeople are sitting in the back going, "All right, which one's got her?" And then they're gonna, I guarantee it. Please, somebody who sells cars, tell me I'm wrong. And at some point in that conversation,
Why do you feel that this is the case?
because I was a salesperson for
And you
like
didn't like selling to women?
me personally.
Yeah.
I had nothing wrong with it. That's why I said it's wrong. But I worked with people
Well,
like
what do
that
other people have wrong with selling to women? Like, why don't they like it?
because, well, okay, I don't agree with this, by the way, because like I said, I never judged a book by a cover. I sold jewelry, I sold electronics, which is a predominantly male, focused product. Not that women, you're very technologically savvy, but I'm just saying that a lot of salespeople in that environment especially hated talking to women
Mhm.
because women don't know what they're talking about. I'm just kidding. To the salespeople, I mean, salespeople in an electronics store, especially one that was very focused on internal components. Like I'm not talking like a Best Buy. I'm talking like someone comes in, they need replacement parts or they want to build a PC, like a Micro Center today, which is I think nationwide. So
We don't have those.
you have a Micro Center.
Not in Pennsylvania, in Maryland,
Well, it's close enough.
I guess. I never knew they existed until you
They're great.
because it's like an hour
This
away.
is this is a Micro Center special right here.
Yes.
This is Tralana's new laptop that we're utilizing currently. Actually, we're utilizing this for the first time to record, which is I can already tell the dip. Okay, I don't want to go off on too many tangents here, but this thing is using so much less resources doing this by
Mhm.
about 5 to 6%. So there are noticeable differences that I didn't think I would see in this new lap because the other laptop, my older laptop, is still a pretty good laptop. But anyways, so when you look at okay, we're gonna get into it. When you look at I sold electronics, I'm not saying I haven't worked on a car lot. I only know people who have worked on car lots and sold cars for a living. So this is coming from a place of secondhand knowledge. But when I worked in jewelry, most salespeople didn't want to deal with women
Why? Like,
because women aren't usually the ones buying the jewelry. Women are the ones looking at the jewelry to go home and tell their husband to buy the jewelry.
mm,
That is the problem. When a woman walks into a jewelry store, it's not I'm going to make a sale. It's I got to work this person to fall in love with this piece of jewelry to get to a point where they're like, well, I'm going to come back with my husband. And you go, well, why don't you give him a call right now? Give him a call right now. We'll open up a Zales card. You can put it on the Zales card, add him as an authorized user. Just why? Why wait? Why go home? Why go home to come all the way back? That was what the script that we used. No, because you didn't want them to leave because if they left, they either weren't coming back or they would come back and buy it. But what if you're not there? You just wasted all that time selling to that person, and someone else is going to get credit for your sale. So you never want to if somebody is interested, always be closing. ABC. Close that sale for Christ.
I've never had that experience. Like, because I'm not that person.
Well, no, you are a
So,
very, I want this. I like it. I'm going to buy it.
one,
We
I've never needed a man for anything. So
know,
I've bought all of my cars myself. Anything that I want, I purchase for myself. So
yes,
I don't,
you're a strong, independent woman who don't need no man.
sure.
What? I am being absolutely serious. You are a small section of the female population. That is true. You are a small section, especially in this day and age. Like, I think our generation is the last generation of like, you have yours, I have mine, we have ours. I think our kids' generation are fucked
What do you mean?
because that sense of value. Just look at all the shit you see on dating websites and all that stuff in the news. It's all I didn't want this podcast to go in this direction, but there's a lot of entitlement in relationships now where men are forced to give more than they probably should. And I have been a victim of it, and thank God you came along, and thank God I met you. I thank the stars every day that I found somebody that is the way you are. Very I don't have to worry. I have no worries about you. If you want something, you can go get it. If you need something, you will provide it for yourself. And I don't have to like wake up every day with the weight of on my shoulders. thinking that I have to keep you and Josette, Nicholas and Ian and myself alive. And all of that weight on my shoulders. It is spread throughout our shoulders. And that is very important. So, yeah, you are a rare flower, in my opinion. You are the 6, 7 leaf clover. Most are not that way. And I've seen it. So in jewelry especially, I was not a fan. Although my biggest sale ever was to a single white lady who walked in wearing sweatpants and a ripped up t-shirt,
My
and
girl.
nobody wanted to help her. They're like, "Look at this piece of trash," and I was like, "No." And I treated every customer the same, no matter what. I was the patron saint of customer service for any sales job I ever had. Anybody that knows me would tell you that. I was the overgiver. But I always did it because I knew being a good person and being a good salesperson would something would come out of it. And it always did. It always paid off. That woman especially came in sweatpants and a t-shirt, and we were doing a custom jewelry event, and she ended up buying a piece of jewelry that was astronomically expensive, and I made like a lot of money off of that sale. But I didn't push her to buy it. She asked if we had something, and we didn't, but the jeweler that was there for the event went back to his shop. It was a whole thing. And everybody was laughing at me because they're like, she won't be back. And I was like, yeah, well, if she does, that's like 6 months of a quota. So I'll be riding pretty clear. And she came back. So, but anyways, so
But so
a
back
car
to
lot
the
is the
yeah.
same.
So as I was gonna say,
So
back to the original.
a car lot is the same mentality. It's
So they're gonna think I'm not gonna buy.
correct because anytime, uh, uh, well, I shouldn't say anytime because again, you and I are different. I don't need to take you to the Kia to get a new car. I'll just come home with a new fucking car. You could do the same thing. You can go and you can come back with a car. But that isn't going to change the mode of thinking that's ingrained in salespeople's brains. You're going to walk on the lot without your husband, and then I guarantee it, at some point in the conversation between them helping you and you sitting down trying to carve out a deal, they're gonna say something like, "Well, why don't you give your husband a call? Why don't you bring your they're gonna
That's
want you to bring the husband in so that the dude bros can work out the deal and leave out the dumb woman." And then, but he's gonna try to fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how it works, and it's not right,
okay.
but that
Well,
is how it works.
I'm 40 and I've purchased a new car every 3 years,
You
and
know, I
I've
haven't gone 2 years
never.
without having a
Well,
new
that's what I
car
mean.
in
Like
like 6 years.
it's been every 2 to 3 years since I was 20. So, what is that like
Too many.
for 20 years? So 10 times I've purchased a car,
I'm done.
and never have I ever been asked about my husband.
Yeah, but you didn't walk on the lot with a tattoo and a ring on your finger.
I'm just saying, never have I ever been asked if I needed to call anyone. Like,
Oh,
do you need?
I'm saying. Oh, let me take a step back.
So you think now?
This is assuming they know that you're married. They would never assume that you're married. They have to know that you're married. As soon as they know that you're married and that there's a man of the house, they automatically think you're a dumb woman. We don't want anything to do with you. We want to cut the deal
Oh,
with
I
the
can't
boy.
wait for my next car purchase.
I guarantee it. Where the tattoo and the rings, I but if it doesn't happen, that's a salesperson that you keep in your life, and you go back because
Okay, I
that's how
can't
I
wait.
am with salespeople. If I find a good salesperson that cuts a fair deal and isn't shisty and treats me like a human and all that other stuff, I am a customer for life to those people. When I bought my Mitsubishi a couple years back, because Toyota was trying to fuck me in the balls. I told that guy, you have a customer for life.
And you didn't go back.
And I didn't go back because they also tried to, after my catalytic converter was cut off. And then I had to wait. Oh, it's 3 months out for the parts. And then it was, oh, well, we suggest that you go get a straight pipe welded on. And I'm like, that's illegal. And I'm like, so you're going to illegally modify my car because you don't have the parts for my car because vandalism is so rampant, especially on my model of car that I purchased from you less than 3, 4, 5 months ago. And it was a whole thing. And I said, fuck this. I walked into Kia, traded it in, and I was like, give me the new Sorento. I need 3 rows anyway. Also, Mitsubishi knew I wanted 3 rows, and the new Sportage. What did I had a Mitsubishi Sportage or something, a new one, and the 2023 model that was on the lot when I bought mine. No, I'm sorry, the 2022.
I was like 23.
I'm sorry, I bought a 2021. The 2022s were on the lot that I didn't know about. They had a 3rd row, and they sold me the old inventory because they didn't want to give me the new inventory because it was the same price.
See, I wouldn't have fallen for that.
Well, I didn't even know that it was. I don't even think it was out yet. I think it came out like 2-3 weeks later, but they knew they had them on the lot. So did they have to tell me? No, they didn't have to tell me. But a good salesperson would have went, hey, I got a 3rd row. The 2023s are out. We're going to put them officially on the lot and sticker them in 1 or 2 weeks. Take my number, come back. We'll work out a deal. You know what I would have done? I would have been so grateful for that. I would have been like, what's the highest package you have? I'd have been like, what is this? This is the ES? You know what? Give me the SE. Give me the high package with the chrome and the moonroof and the the JBL audio or something. I'd be like, yeah, what is it? $5,000 more? I'll take it. That's how I do business. You scratch my back, I scratch your back. I get you a little bit more coin in your pocket. But the bad salespeople are just interested in the moment, and let's get, oh, we got this old inventory. We got to get rid of this old inventory. Yeah, him, yeah, sell to him. He wants it, whatever. That's again. And then I find out about it, and it's like, well, you just lost a customer because I would have kept going back to Mitsubishi because I really did like that car. What, did I drive that out there once?
Yeah.
I drove that out to Pennsylvania once, and then the next time I had a new car.
Yeah.
I remember when Joseph was like, oh, it's a nice car. I was like, yeah, I needed a bigger car for everybody because Nicholas takes up 2 seats in the car as is. I can't be jamming everybody. I can't have Joseph sitting on Nicholas's lap. So,
anyway, I've never had that happen. Like I've never, even my current car, I went and now my friend's husband was a manager there. So, because that was a whole.
That doesn't count.
No, let me finish. It was a whole fiasco because I had 2 cars because I had bought my ex a car.
Correct.
So I had 2 cars and I needed to
I would have
trade.
taken that for my birthday.
What, a new car?
Yeah, like a Stinger or a.
Okay. I can't. I gotta.
We'll put it on
we'll
put it on the back burner.
Yeah.
We'll work it in.
Start small. I don't want to set unrealistic expectations for you. I mean,
Well, I told you that.
So
That's why I told you I didn't want this fucking watch.
So I
She buys me this fucking watch. Okay, so I didn't spend like a fortune for her birthday. I bought her new stuff for her computer setup. So I bought you this chair.
Oh, was this part of my birthday?
Well, yeah, I bought you this a month before you. Remember?
I mean, obviously, I remember you buying it for me. I'm sitting in the fucking thing. I'm saying I didn't know it was part of a present.
Yeah, it's part of the whole.
I mean,
it was the theme of the all the presents. Except for the jewelry, but the theme was streamer gaming. Get your setup together.
Here's the deal. I'm a gift giver. I don't think there's a single time that I've seen Tony since I met him in person that I haven't brought him a present. So to me, no, you would have had to have specifically stated, like we did for Ian, these are part of your Christmas.
I did. I guarantee that I said that.
I don't think you did.
I guarantee that I said it's part of your early birthday.
I don't think you did.
Because you didn't want me to buy it.
No, because I was gonna pay for it. I needed you to
and I
order
had to
it.
tell you.
I needed you. No, wait, stop.
I'm
I
gonna
needed
pause this
you.
fucking podcast.
I needed you to order it because I needed it delivered here, and it didn't make sense because like I wanted you to take care of that part because I didn't want to fuck up
it
the
and
delivery.
had it delivered here.
I didn't want to because you don't always have it stuff delivered here because it gets fucked up or whatever.
This is too big to go to
Okay, well I
the
didn't
locker.
know that, so I didn't want to like whatever. So I was like, you order it, I'll pay you for it, and then you were like, you got the husband discount because I was like, how much do I owe you? And you're like, I got the husband discount.
This is
so, but that doesn't mean birthday.
No, but I
No, you never said birthday. I don't care. Yes, sure, this is part of my birthday, but we didn't. You never said that, but that's fine. So, anyways, so yeah, the only way that I would know that is I've told you. Okay, so like I bought you the ring, and I said this is super early, but this is part of your birthday present.
Yeah.
Not that one.
I know that, but I just want to say
well,
that.
Well, they don't.
Well, I want to tell you because I can wear it because I don't have the wedding ring on.
Sure.
Because I wouldn't wear this if the wedding ring was on because I wouldn't want it to take away from the. I can't wear another ring on this hand.
Sure.
Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so I thought you're not gonna be able to see it, but real quick, I want to point out this is one of my favorite pieces of jewelry. Okay, it's a ring. It's a tungsten carbide ring with black opal. Opal is our birthstone. Or well, my birthstone. Hers is sapphire.
Mine.
No, it's my birthstone. The story I told you about the woman with the sweat. Do you know why this is important to me? Okay.
Yes.
Because sometimes I don't know what stories I tell you. This ring was the only purchase I made for myself after that sale. And I've had it ever since. It's been 14 years. It's been a long time I've had this. This is a reminder of what I said to not judge a person, don't judge a book by its cover or whatever. So this is very important to me. One trip out to Texas, right?
What?
I think when I went to Texas for my sister's birthday.
What are you talking about? When you lost it?
Yeah.
You lost it when we got married.
Oh yeah, you're right. No. The only reason I said my sister in Texas was I knew Nicholas was with me. And the only time Nicholas has traveled with me out to see you was our wedding. So it was either my sister or our wedding. I didn't remember which one. Because Nicholas was with me. That's the only reason I knew. So it was our wedding weekend. And
so memorable.
Huh?
Nothing.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
What did you say?
I said it was so memorable.
What?
Our wedding weekend.
It was very memorable.
So you can't remember that's when you lost your ring.
Well, maybe this part I don't like to remember. Not that it matters because I didn't. Spoiler alert! I didn't lose it. But I found this. Did I find it this weekend? No. Or was that at the Airbnb?
The Airbnb.
Airbnb for Penn State. I found it in my medicine bag because my bag that I keep my medicine in has like a liner underneath it that lifts up. And for some reason, I think I was like clearing out the empty like garbage because I can't stand it when it gets like that. And I lifted it up to see if any fell under the liner. And there it was. But that's great. I'm glad I still have that. But Tralana, because she knows how much it meant to me for part of my early birthday, she got me a blue opal and tungsten.
I feel like you told that story very poorly.
Why? Why did you? What do you mean I told it poorly?
Well, because I feel like it was very disjointed. So
when we
were in Florida getting married, when we left, you thought that you left it at the Airbnb that we stayed at or something. Correct. And you even reached out to them to say like, hey, if when you're like cleaning or whatever, if you find this ring. Correct. And they never got back to you.
I never got a response.
And so I felt really bad because like, I know how much it means to you, and, like, I don't know, I'm just that way, so, like, even though it
I
had nothing to do with me and it wasn't my fault, like, I just felt bad
that's what I
that
said.
you didn't really explain that it, like, went missing, like, I mean, you just that was, like, a
Well, that's not the important
oh
part of
my
the
god.
story.
Anyways, so yes, so I got that ring as, like, a replacement
You
whatever,
can't see it,
but
but it's very important to me because it has
well, and yeah, I got
inscription.
our thing inscribed,
Yes. So
um but yeah, so I specifically and I'm really bad at keeping, like, surprises and presents and whatever, and I wanted to do also, I wanted to do that right away because I know, like, you were really upset that you lost
I
thought
was
you lost the
very
other
upset.
one. Right, so right away, I wanted to get you a replacement, and I couldn't find anything exactly like your old one,
I like this one better.
and, why?
I like the blue and the black, the contrast. This, even though I really love black opal,
Mhm.
um, it doesn't it's not as bright. It's not vibrant. It's
Yeah.
kind of a dull.
I honestly
So
so
this is it's really bright and really
funny
nice.
aside, I honestly, for whatever reason, I was thinking that that was white opal with the black, not black opal.
No,
So that's
black
probably
opal.
why I couldn't find a replica anyways, because I was searching for an exact replica.
Yeah.
But it now it kind of works out that it's not because now you
Well,
have
they're different.
yeah, you have 2
The
different
two different
rings
opal
versus if I
rings.
had found like an exact
I love wearing these together. I know people probably think it's super fucking gay to wear thumb rings, but I've always worn a thumb ring, and I feel weird if I'm not wearing it. That even with my wedding ring, I will still to this day go like this, like try to feel for it
mhm,
because I'm always worried that it's going to fall off my hand. But
whatever. Anyways,
but I don't wear it on my my left hand because that's where my wedding ring is, and I feel it's disrespectful to the wedding ring to wear other rings on the same hand because that hand should be reserved for just that. But we sent ours in for service because you know
yours was like nicked.
mine has a brushed finish to it.
Mhm.
So anytime I kind of ding it or something, it like scuffs.
Yeah.
So mine is a lot more dinged than yours. But I think yours might have been turning more yellow.
Yeah, on the bottom. Mine
Yeah,
were really yellowing.
yours were getting yellow. So hey man, it's covered in the warranty. Fuck it. I'll take it in every 3 months.
Yeah.
And do it. But then we got to be without it for a couple weeks. So we got our tattoos touched up. And you can also see my
Mhm.
brand new flash tattoo that I also got.
Dude, like that.
Shout out to Venture Tattoo in Oak Lawn, Illinois. So now I have the hand tats. Now I'm officially kind of a badass. So
Sure.
that with my new knife. Or I didn't buy a knife. That's a joke. I bought
Well, anyways,
I mean, my pointy utensil that I bought today.
yes.
I don't know
Well,
what gets flagged anymore on here.
I have no idea. But yeah, so I mean, and I got you your pen too, which I gave to you
Which
early.
also, I don't think I put it on this little knight guy here. He's
Yeah, I
holding
got him the night too to hold his
a
pen.
pen. Okay, so this is listen how sweet this is.
Oh my
So this is
gosh.
an actual fountain pen. Okay, it's got a cartridge in it. It writes beautiful. It's the best pen I've ever used in my life, and I've used really nice pens. Actually, working in a jewelry store, you closed more sales if you had a really nice pen, like a Mont Blanc or something like that. Well, those are like $300 or $1,000 pens. I didn't have one of those, but I always tried to have a really, really nice pen. Two things: really nice pen, really nice watch for men. So there's something about being a salesperson and having a really nice pen that you give to a customer. Like it's a physical, tangible connection to the salesperson. And when you write with a nice pen, there's just something so elegant and smooth about it. But anyways, that's a different conversation. I could hold a whole seminar on sales. But anyway, um, this is beautiful. and I had made a passing comment. I didn't even make a big deal out of it. But I told Shalana that when I was younger, my grandfather had an old fountain pen like this, and a lot of a big thing in the past few years is ASMR, which is made up, but whatever. But ASMR is on YouTube and a lot of streaming communities. People really get into it, and one of the things is like writing on paper and stuff. And it was always so soothing to me to listen to my grandfather write and write his name and all these other things. And I had mentioned like always wanted I was like, I always wanted a really nice like fountain pen. So she shows up with a fountain pen. And for the first few days, like anytime I'd be working or sitting, I'd just be sitting writing, signing my name. I think I have a fucking envelope somewhere with like my name scribbled on it like 35 times. I think there's one over there somewhere too. Love this pen.
It
This
was
is a
that was
fantastic pen.
during one of the episodes of the podcast
What?
that you mentioned about your grandfather
Oh,
and
did I
the
during a
signing.
podcast?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was just a passing story that sticks out in my brain. And actually the reason I write in all caps, like my writing style, I mostly write in capitals except maybe like lowercase i's and stuff, is because I used to write in like lowercase when I was really, really young. But my grandfather, and I always thought his writing was so clean and crisp. I was like, and the pen it's all the same thing. I was like, I want to write like that. And his name had a lot of straight lines, F and D. So it was very uniform.
Mhm.
I love it. So again, I, favorite ring, favorite pen. But anyway, to go back to the setting unrealistic expectations, that's why I didn't go and I can't go and be like, hey, I got us 2 tickets to fucking Aruba. Like, because then where do you go from there? Like, what am I going to do for Christmas? Fucking get a timeshare? What are we going to do? So it's like, I bought you, uh, inexpensive. It wasn't like astronomically expensive, but then again, uh, opal isn't that expensive in terms of jewelry wise. Like opal's middle, it's not like as expensive as like some of the other gemstones. Your rubies and your emeralds, some of your sapphires, natural. A lot of those are going to be more expensive than opal because it's not a very sought after gemstone. I think opals are beautiful.
I think it's beautiful. And
Yeah.
that ring would have been way more expensive if I didn't get it on sale. So
So I got opal drop necklace. Also, I will say that you made a list. You made the wifey list and shared it
mhm.
with me so that I kind of knew what to go off of. So I got you the earrings. You're not gonna be able to see them. Opal necklace, new 4K webcam that we were gonna use for this podcast until I figured out that we could use the iPhone, which is bananas. Um, we got I got you the award-winning Steel Series. Had to throw that out there. Keyboard, mouse, and headset. The chair. You're gonna have a gaming laptop. So like you're set. That was the
You didn't get me the
theme,
laptop.
huh?
I wanted to say you didn't get me the
No, no,
laptop.
no. I didn't get you the laptop. No,
In
no,
case my
no. I'm
mother
just
listens to this and is like,
no,
"What the
no, no.
fuck?"
I'm saying like part of your birthday gifts that wasn't from me, but part of your birthday gifts
Yes.
that there was a theme there.
Yes.
I knew that by the end, well, I didn't know about the laptop till after the fact, but I knew that because the thing is that I wanted to get. I mean, we talked about this last podcast. We want to be able to do games together. When you're back in Pennsylvania, we
Mhm.
want to be able to heighten the quality of our remote podcasts and things like that, which we tried to do the last time, but you didn't. You were using a Chromebook. This time should be fucking a banger,
Yeah,
a
next
remote
week.
one.
Yeah.
Next week we're gonna do another. We have to do another remote one, but there should be no video quality issues. The only thing I'm gonna have to research is I get it, and I know a lot of people have said I think somebody commented about the audio. It's like I get it. It's hard to do remote and not have an echo because the desktop audio loops, and it's I gotta figure out how to disable that kind of feedback loop with the audio.
Yeah.
But I will figure it out. However, I have to do it. I will. I promise. But that was the theme. And I thought that was a good jumping off for birthday into Christmas. And what do? You buy me a goddamn Apple Watch.
Well, it's not the only thing I bought you, but
I know, but we were good. We were all done. And then you're like, well, I want to get you one more thing for your birthday. And then you basically you talked me into getting this Apple Watch. I did not want to get this Apple Watch.
I always get what I want.
Yeah, I did not. But I knew it if we made as soon as I conceded to go to the Apple store, we knew it was over. We knew we weren't going to walk out of there without it. But thank God we're happily married. Fucking sales guy.
Oh,
Fucking
gosh.
sales. Hold on.
Okay,
We'll get back
wait.
to the watch. I'll let you tell this because
We're
I
gonna-
wasn't there. Let you tell the
We're
story.
gonna go so overtime because I still want to hear the
That's
story
fine. We'll go a little
about
overtime. You guys can skip ahead or whatever.
birthday gala for Tony.
We kind of rambled,
overtime.
but it's
Yeah.
fine.
So
I've been
this
sitting here
has
with
been-
this for like 10, 15
this
minutes.
has been ongoing for quite some time, the discussion of the Apple Watch for various reasons, because we've been discussing getting Tony a new phone and the Apple Watch and all the things, but he has a work account, blah blah blah, like so it makes things difficult.
Yes.
Anyways. And also I'm just trying to make our lives as messy as possible because to me that's important. Anyways.
Make it messy how?
Oh, cuz like I want you on my phone plan, and
Well, let's just go. You
and-
never said that.
and
Hold on a second. You never said that. You never said I want you on my phone plan until just now. That
See-
was never stated to me.
Here's the stark difference between Tony and I.
Yeah, I like clear, concise, like
Yes.
words,
And
not insinuations.
Well, no, I pick up on subtleties. So he made the off comment of telling the story about his grandfather and the pen and whatever. I picked that ball up and I ran with it, hence the present. I don't say anything that doesn't have a meaning behind it, but Tony doesn't pick up on those subtleties, so I have to be blunt with him, which is something that I'm adjusting to because
Yes, I'm not like
used to
that.
just making a statement and then
Expecting it to go somewhere.
yeah, because I don't say things that I don't mean. So like that, like like we're opening our joint account and whatever. Well, not opening, but I'm
Tomorrow.
adding you to
We're
my
adding
account.
me to the bank account. We're gonna have our
Damn it.
joint bank account.
Yeah,
But that wasn't like a off count. That was something that you had made the comment. We got this. Let's use this and build a joint account together. And I was like, yeah, let's
and then
do that.
And then as part of that conversation, I was saying like I wanted to make things messy and whatever, and like the implication was there. You didn't pick it up, and that's fine. Anyways, the Apple Store. So
Wait, hold on.
What?
I'm not done with this.
Oh my gosh.
Hold on.
Oh my gosh.
If you want me on yourself, if you want a joint cell phone plan,
Mhm.
then you need just say
No.
we're
work that way.
married. We are together in sickness and health, death do us part. We should all be on a family plan. That's all you had to say. And I would have been like,
I don't work
let's
that way.
fucking do it. Let's go. I want a new iPhone.
I don't work that
Desperately.
way.
I'm rocking this fucking ancient thing here. Because I don't get I don't get the benefit of paying $26 a month for the iPhone. I have to pay $700 because I don't have a cell phone plan. It's a work plan, but I get to use it as a personal phone too. So I don't have a cell phone bill, which is great, and I've enjoyed that for the past 6-7 years. But I don't get the same perks. I get this new Apple Watch. I can't even link it to my cellular service. I have a new credit score to view. I don't like this new update where this is down here now and not
Yeah,
up
that's
here.
weird. I don't think mine did that update yet, and I'm kind of glad about it. Anyway.
God damn. So she buys me this Apple Watch because I thought I could link it if I tell the people at work to add it to my phone number, and then I find out, like a half hour ago, like before we started recording, that no, they put an X-nay to that. They don't do it anymore. So now I have a cellular iWatch that I can't use. So now I have to get a new iPhone
Mhm.
because I need that cellular link because I want to be able to leave the house without my phone. But anyway, okay, so
Anyways, so
she doesn't work that way.
this has been oh, yeah, I don't. When I make a comment like it that is I'm like an iceberg. The surface is nothing compared to what's underneath. So when I make these
And I'm what, the
surface
Titanic?
No. When I make these surface comments,
Paint me like one of your French girls.
could you?
Ew.
Um
That didn't come out right.
so when I make these comments, that is not like the full picture of what I'm saying is underneath. So like, yeah. So when I said I wanted, a joint account and to make things messy, like
Which I'm all for,
that
by the way.
wasn't just about
You're talking about that's all encompassing is what you're
yes.
saying.
Yes. Anyways,
Yeah. Fuck me. I should have picked up on that.
yeah. I think it's pretty clear. I think that's what normal married people do anyways. Anyways, the Apple Store. So we go to the Apple Store today because this has been going on for quite some time where I've been trying to convince Tony to allow me to buy him an Apple Watch. So it's not like this was like an impulse buy today. Like, yes, it was, but no, it wasn't because it's been a conversation for a while. And I've been trying to convince him, oh, we should get you a phone. We'll figure out how to forward your shit from the work phone to the new phone, blah, 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 whatever. But the Apple Watch was something because I'm super competitive for anybody that knows me. So like I also have my
crush you.
little Apple Watch.
Crush
And
you.
so I already started sharing my like health stuff with Tony because
Well, should I explain the need for the new iWatch?
I say?
It goes into what you were saying with the competition because I don't think that's going to come through.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to say that I wanted the new iWatch and I need the cellular because I really want to start going back to the gym
Oh.
and I really want to ditch the phone, walk in, not put it in the cup holder or put it on the floor by the machine. I want to have my watch, my Bluetooth headset, and then not be tethered by the phone. That is the main reason. When I was heavily going to the gym, like a year or two ago before some health issues, I I loved going with the watch, but I hated having the phone with me. I fucking hated it. And if I went on a walk or something, or if I'm on the treadmill, like I gotta walk around with this seemingly 17-pound thing jangling and hitting my nuts while I walk. So at one point I had one of those. Did you ever see one of those armbands?
Yes.
I was an armband guy for a while, and it was demeaning. But so that is how the conversation started. That's why I wanted cellular. So this is where the competition comes in. That's why I think what you were going into next.
I mean, I wasn't referring to you going to the gym and whatever. But anyways, so like anybody that knows for Apple Watches, like you can share your whatever that's called,
Activity.
like your activity thing. So I had already started sharing my activity with Tony, like I don't even know, like a week ago, because I haven't worn my Apple Watch in a really long time. But at work, when I'm going into other teachers' classrooms, it's hard for me. Like I don't want to be disrespectful to them. So like in my own classroom, I knew when like a break was and whatever I was doing, obviously because I was the one facilitating. So like I could easily like pull my phone out, text Tony, whatever. But when I'm in somebody else's classroom, like there's not necessarily like an easy good time. So I started wearing my Apple Watch so that I could covertly text him back while I'm at work. And in the process,
Should you even be saying that?
yeah, why
I
not?
don't want you to get in trouble for something.
I'm allowed to have my phone on me.
Oh, okay.
Anyways,
cut that.
cut that. Anyways, so I recently started wearing my. Where's that time? So I recently started wearing my.
Well, I'm not going to cut anything. I didn't last
no,
podcast.
you never do.
I apologize. because I said some things the
Never
last
gonna finish
podcast
this
that was a
story.
joke. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. My apologies.
Anyways, so the moral of the story is I just recently started wearing my Apple Watch again. And when I did, I started sharing my activity with Tony because you can do week long or whatever competitions with somebody that you share your activity with. So I, for anybody that knows me, go on a walk every day other than when I'm with Tony because we don't
We did
other
that
than
today.
tonight, normally we do not.
Well, we got to utilize the watch, so we got
Right.
to
Now we have
do
to.
all the things.
So, anyways, that's a thing that I do for me for like my own health and whatever is like I make Giuseppe go on a 2 mile walk with me every day. It's just a thing. Anyways, so I wanted to start a competition with him. So I wanted him to wear his old Apple Watch to compete. And then he didn't think that was working, blah, 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 whatever.
Right.
So this has been an ongoing saga of me trying to get him to get this new Apple Watch and to let me get it for him as a present and whatever. So finally, we go to the Apple store today and, we're doing all the things. Tyler was helping us.
Yeah, Tyler.
Tyler was helping us, pick out Tony's Apple Watch and the band and all the things. And Tony walked
I
away
walked away
for like 2
for
minutes.
2 minutes because
Can't leave this girl alone.
Nicholas. Well, I still don't think it was a you thing.
What do you mean?
Well, we'll get into it, but I
Okay.
walked away for 2 minutes because Nicholas needed an adapter because he lost his phone, so I had to give him an old iPhone. So he's going from Android to iPhone, and they don't have a headphone jack. So he needed the headphone to lightning adapter for his headphones. Fine. I have one for my headphones that are all gunked up because Nicholas probably used them or whatever. But in any event, needed another one. So got him it. I walked away for 2 minutes to get it off the accessory shelf.
At which point, Tyler begins questioning me about how I know Tony and if we're together. And I was like, yeah, that's my husband. And he was like, oh, well, how long have you been married? And I was like, 3 months, because yesterday was our 3 months of being married anniversary.
Yep.
So then he was like, oh, well, how long have you guys been together overall? And I'm like, I don't remember because I'm horrible with these things. And I was like, not that long. And he was like, okay. And he was like, are you guys happily married?
Who
And
asks that?
I was like, yes, I'm happily married.
So here's why I say I'm not 100% convinced he was straight.
Oh, he was trying to steal you from me?
I don't know if it was he was trying to get info from you about me. That's
Oh.
why I was trying to say it was a very odd question because he was and he didn't strike me as straight.
Hmm.
He was very, and maybe he was. I'm not, either way it doesn't matter, but it was either he was so brazen with a guy with you and he was running the risk of me, a man who outweighed him by about 100 pounds, and I would have crushed his skull with my bare hands like a coconut to ask you that, or he thought I was gay and you were my friend and was like, oh, yeah, you guys married?
What kind of I need some gay friends that'll buy me a $500 Apple Watch as a present. Like, it was very clear that I was making the purchase.
I know, but I
And it
mean,
was for you.
some friends will
I
spend
need
that much.
if you're a friend like that, can I have
I don't know if I would spend $600. Maybe on a few select friends. Like Frank or Mike or whatever. But the only reason I would, and you want to know why?
Mm.
I would buy my cousins or Frank or Lou something that expensive if I knew they wanted it, because I know they can reciprocate. So then when like my birthday rolls around or Christmas, they know what I bought and they would match it. They wouldn't buy me like a $20 gift card to the Gap, you know?
Mm.
But it's selective. There are some friends that don't have that kind of disposable income, so I wouldn't be able to expect that from them. Not that gifts should be, reciprocated. Sometimes just gift giving feels good, but I that is on the high end of the spectrum, though. Like that would be pretty ridiculous. But
Yeah.
maybe a couple $100. I think I spent about $300 on. This is the most I spent on a friend for a present.
I don't have any friends that get me anything except for Amanda.
Yeah, but you know what? Amanda was the birthday gifts that she got you were extremely thoughtful.
No,
They
and
were
that
worth that in thoughtfulness.
right. I don't so I try to be like that, like with your gifts, like I try to be a thoughtful gift giver when I can, and whatever, and or I try to match like the money spent by I mean, like I said, like I only have Amanda, so like whatever. So but like I try to match whatever she gives me or to also be sentimental or whatever. Anyways, so no, I don't know though because back to Tyler.
Oh yes, Tyler. I don't know. It's a tough nut to crack
Because
on that
when
one.
as soon as you walked away, like I forget what the first thing that he said to me was, but like because it was something offhand about like the stuff that we were doing, and then it went straight to like, um, so how are you today?
Mm.
And then asking how like if we were together and whatever. So like I don't know. I didn't get the same impression that you did. But
You could be right. I all I'm saying is I wasn't completely convinced that he was a straight man. It was kind of like the guy at Verizon when we went to Verizon to get Nicholas's phone
yeah,
transferred.
I'm
That
trying to
that guy
remember that guy because
was super,
he didn't make an impression on my brain, so I can't think of
yeah,
what.
super gay vibe from that guy. Just his mannerisms and he was like, okay, yeah, we can check that out, which is fine. Again, very nice guy, very helpful,
I don't
very
remember.
quick. Walked
He didn't
in,
make
walked
a
out.
good enough impression on me, like to stick in my brain.
Yeah, because he didn't ask you if you were happily married when I went
I
to look at
know.
the iPhone.
I know.
What do you mean? It's such a fucking weird thing to say.
Well, no, and so
Especially somebody who works at the Apple store. Like he's gonna
here's
steal you away from me
he
with
might have.
his 10%
He
discount.
might have. I need to check out that Apple
I've
Store
got
discount. Tyler, I'll be back.
I've got Tim Cook on speed dial.
Yeah. Anyways, um, no, so I don't know.
He was either a piece of trash or he wasn't completely straight. Either way,
We made him blush though
does it matter? When? Why did he blush?
because I embarrassed him by telling you that he asked me if I was
Oh.
happily married.
Oh yeah, he kind of went like me I did. And it's like
Yeah, because so
I
when
didn't pick
Tony
up
came
on
back
that.
over, see,
But
here's
see,
the
I
thing.
didn't know that was transpiring when I
Right.
walked away.
Right. So when Tony came back over, I forget how I even told you. Like, how did I just say it straight out? I don't even
You
remember.
were like, I don't know, husband, are we happily married or something like that?
Yeah. So
And I was
because
like, according to who?
here's what.
Who's asking?
Yeah, that didn't make me happy, anyways. But because it implies that maybe you're not.
It doesn't
Anyway, yes,
imply
it
that.
does
No.
in the comments.
It implies
Could y'all
who
back me up?
I was my comment was more towards who's asking and why? Like what is this question?
So, anyways, see what Tyler wasn't counting on in this whole exchange,
It's
whether it was
just how
me,
happily married we are.
no, wasn't wasn't whether he was going for me or you. What he wasn't counting on was that as soon as you came back over, that I was going to report in that that's what he was asking me while you were gone. So I like to make things as awkward as possible. No, I just don't keep anything from Tony. So like I thought that it was very awkward and weird and it was making me uncomfortable, the line of questioning, because I took it as that he was interested in me. And
Could have been.
as soon as Tony walked back over, that's why I was like, yeah, I
You
don't
should have
know.
leaned into it.
What do you mean?
Should next time something like that happens, I want you to lean into it.
What do you mean lean
You'd be like,
in?
I don't know, Tyler. Do I look happily married? And I don't know. Like lean in. Be like, I mean, if you
No.
write your number down on a business card, I'm not gonna throw it away. And then if he does it, and then I walk over, and then you go, guess what this guy just fucking did? And I would have been like, what? He was like, he actually put his number on a card because he thinks I'm gonna leave my husband for him, and then we both
No.
could have laughed at him out of the store.
No, and I'm gonna tell you why I wouldn't do that.
Why? That's too far.
Because yes, because I did something like that with my sister forever ago. And even though I thought that we were all on the same page going in to the joke and whatever, we were not. And it turned into a huge fiasco, and
Between who?
my sister and I.
Oh well,
And
yeah, but it wouldn't be a fiasco between you and I.
sure, but I wouldn't even want to risk
Me thinking that you were actually
that.
okay. I understand. I'd be like, well, how do I know it was a joke? Okay, I could
Right.
see me saying that.
Right. So I wouldn't even want to risk that. So I would not lean
All
into
right, then
anybody
don't lean into it.
doing that. Plus
Don't lean into
plus
it.
I okay, so when I got those flowers at work, my first thing, because I know that you wouldn't send me flowers.
Nope.
So my first thing was in my brain, I was like, what the fuck? Why did I just get flowers at work? Like, who is sending these to me? Like, who did I give the wrong impression to? And like,
Yeah, but
how?
weren't they like sunflower? What were they? Were they
Mums.
mums? That's right.
Yeah.
Mums isn't a very romantic flower.
I don't care.
I'm just saying. I think that'd be a weird if well, I mean, I'm a guy, but if someone sends me flowers at all, it's weird. But
I'm gonna send you
if you
flowers.
sent, but if someone was interested in me and they sent me mums, that's like,
Well,
what
okay.
message does that send?
So here's the thing. If anyone was going to send me flowers and they knew me as a person at all,
They would send you a Venus flytrap.
anyways, they wouldn't send me traditional flowers.
It's not
So
traditional.
so I don't like traditional flowers because I don't like that they're just going like that you're killing them and they're just going to die and make a mess that I have to clean up and all the fucking things. I think
Should I get you one of those forever roses that are always advertised to me on like Facebook and shit? Like the Beauty and the Beast, it's in the little glass thing.
I bought myself one
Of
because
course
I'm a
you
strong,
did.
independent woman.
Oh my god.
Anyways.
All right, let's wrap it up here.
So anyways, so no, so if anybody was actually going to send me flowers and they knew me, they would send me a potted plant. Maybe not mums,
Well, yeah,
because I
not
think those are
mums.
lame. But
Maybe
my mother likes them, and that's fine because it
tulips.
turned into a gift for her. No, so if anybody was going to send me flowers, it would need to be the actual potted plant that I could kill on my very own, but that may have a chance of survival. It doesn't because I don't have a green thumb, but maybe it could live.
I'd get you a succulent.
Give me a cactus. It's prickly like me.
That's
I know
that's
what
a
a
succulent. I don't know why you had to specify a cactus. Because I already
because
said
I wanted it to be prickly like me, and not all succulents are prickly.
most are.
No, they aren't.
I think most succulents.
I've owned many a succulent that I have killed because
most succulents
can't keep anything alive
I
except
won't
for
say
Giuseppe.
some aren't.
but-
Some are like furry, but they're not prickly. But yeah,
Correct.
some of them, most of them resemble that of a cacti. But
No, I think there are some very beautiful, beautiful succulents that I owned and killed that
how do you
were
kill
not.
a succulent? You'd have to actively kill a succulent. I'm gonna buy you a forever succulent. Put it in a glass gauge, like glass holder, like in Beauty and the
Anyways.
Beast. Hey, that's been the podcast, everybody.
We still didn't. Okay.
What do you want to? What else is there? We're already at way
I know. I
past
said
time.
you like babbled so long, but you said in the beginning that you were going to tell the story of why you don't like your birthdays, and I was
Okay.
really heartbroken when you started this podcast out. I was really heartbroken, and it hurt my feelings, and I was waiting to hear this story because I was hoping for some redemption in the way that it was making me feel at the beginning. But we're
Why were you
like so far out
heartbroken?
of time
Why were you heartbroken?
because you know that this has been like very painful for me in terms of your birthday isn't technically until Wednesday.
Oh,
I can't
can't say
stay
it.
until
Okay.
Wednesday. I can't spend
Here,
our first of your birthdays together and
here,
it's bothering me very much.
okay. Here is why. I don't, I, I don't, I don't celebrate or take my birthday very seriously because, and this might sound counterintuitive, but my birthday is the most important holiday of the year to me. Well, birthdays in general. Holidays are made up. Christmas is made up. Thanksgiving is made up. They used to mean something, but then, you know, capitalism and consumerism and Hallmark uh, morphed most holidays that we have into something that is a shell of what it's supposed to represent. But your birthday is a fact. It's a mathematical fact. We have rotated around from one point back to the same point almost in a year. It is undeniable. It is a fact, a birthday. So I take birthdays very seriously. I love birthdays. So I don't want you to think I don't like birthdays. But for the majority of my life, nobody gives a shit about my birthday. Nobody. But me. My kids aren't going to remember when my birthday is. I will probably get a few text messages from some friends and family only because it's on Facebook, my birthday. If that wasn't there, no one would remember. So I have consistently been disappointed every birthday I've ever, most birthdays that I've ever had. You know, and the disappointment has been immeasurable. Usually, uh, I stopped giving a shit about my birthday years ago because I was the only one that was ever excited about it. So I keep my excitement to myself. That's why this weekend I wanted to do things that I like, but also, the swap around. That's why the swap around was so important that we went, even though we didn't go for very long, but it was just good to relive that memory and that moment. But other than that, and barbecue, we had barbecue food that I've been craving for fucking months. And even going to the Apple store was fun. Like I like going shopping. I like going to the mall. It's one of my favorite things to do. So my birthdays are low impact shit. I don't cram things in my birthday because I don't trust anybody to give a shit about the things that I give a shit about. Whereas on your birthday, I was wanted to be present and there for all of your memories because I knew how important it was for you and how important your birthday is to you. My number one priority was for anything that we did for your birthday was to, have a good time and make sure that you had a good time. My birthday, I don't want none of that shit because I can't count on people to do the same thing. Like, I've had so many birthdays where I've wanted to do something and everybody's complained. Oh, we don't want to, I don't want to do that. Or that's stupid or that's dumb or whatever. And it's just lame and boring. And I get disappointed. So that's why I don't like my birthday. I don't do I've had a few birthday parties here and there that were fun and a few surprise things. Like I had like a surprise 30th birthday party that I was appreciative of, but wasn't that great. So yeah, That's why. Is because my birthday is usually a disappointment. So if I don't set myself up for disappointment, then I'm not disappointed. And we got to do the things that, most of the things that I wanted to do.
What do you mean most of the things? What didn't we do?
No, there was things that was on my idea list of things that I would have, but it would have been it would have been kind of like your birthday weekend or like the weekend in Penn. It's like there would have been too much. It would have been too much for me. And even though there were things that I would have liked to have done, I didn't want to cram too many things in because then I would have slogged through it. I had mentioned the arboretum. I wanted to go to at the arboretum. They have like a walk through the trees. That's kind of cool. Um, that was on the list of things. And I still want to take you guys to, well, Joseph's not here, so that kind of cut that out. But there was things like the Museum of Science and Industry that we all have to go to. Since you took me to the aquarium, I wanted to take everybody. And then there was the fact that Ian had to go home early today, and it's like couldn't really plan too much to do today because we had that. Well, there's a whole thing. There were things on the list, but again, wasn't. We'll get to them. We didn't have to do them. The Swaparama had to happen because I wanted to do it. The barbecue had to happen because I needed barbecue food in my system. It's still in my system, hasn't left. And, um, you know, watching Dahmer was good. I wanted to finish that because if we had waited any longer, I probably would have had to watch it without you. And I know it would have been terrible.
I
And
would have killed
I know.
you.
And I was excited to play with my new technology because that is when I'm in my happiest space is when I'm playing with technology. So yeah. So
Well, that upsets me more now.
what?
But anyways,
What upsets you more?
that
With the technology?
no,
The Dahmer?
no, just never mind.
What upsets you?
That your whole story
Why does it upset you?
because I can't be here for your actual birthday.
Oh, well, yeah. It it's not that it's not the idea of my actual birthday because you're here now. Like you're here now and it's as important to me for you to be here now than if you were here to me on my actual birthday. This was a wonderful weekend and I loved every moment of it. And it wouldn't change if it was my birthday. Yes, my birthday is important in terms of it's like the mathematical fact of it and birthdays are important, but I mean that's kind of a me thing though. It's not dependent on other people being around. Does this make sense? No?
No,
Okay. Well, I wouldn't say that I I'm not saying I wouldn't want you here on my actual birthday because obviously I would, but I don't hold it against you or anybody if you can't be here for my actual birthday. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. It just is what it is.
well, no, I don't think of it in terms of that. Like, I mean, obviously, like this is just one of the things that sucks about our situation and being long distance and all the things because unfortunately I have a finite number of sick days that I can use, and because of impending other things that I need to use sick days for and whatever, I have to save some for that. So yeah, I can't just blow sick days, endlessly and whatever. And I was already, I would have been here for your birthday if I hadn't unexpectedly used the sick days the other week to come out when your grandfather
Which
went into the hospital.
which is more important to me.
So,
So it between those two, I am far more grateful to you for that, and I don't want to get emotional. I am far more grateful for you for coming out here for that than any birthday. So between those two choices, that was the correct one.
But to me, I think I think birthdays are different to us for a lot of reasons, but like for me, it's not so very different when it comes down to it because like I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, which I don't even know if people know that on the for the podcast,
Oh,
whatever.
we could spend a whole another
Oh
episode on
gosh.
that.
But anyways, so with me growing up as a Jehovah's Witness, I never got to celebrate anything, birthdays, holidays, whatever. I've never had a birthday party. I'm 40 years old. I've never had a birthday party. So that being said, like I don't I celebrate my birthday. And again, like other than having Amanda in my life and she buys me presents and whatever, I don't get presents for anything because Giuseppe's too young and whatever to buy me things and I've never had a significant other that buys me things and whatever. So literally it's my mom. Like my mom buys me birthday and Christmas stuff now that we're not Jehovah's Witnesses anymore and whatever. But like other than that, I don't get presents from anybody else. So I do a lot for my birthday for me for the same kind of reason because there's nobody else is going to do anything for me and that's disappointing and a letdown. So I do those things for myself. And this birthday in particular, the reason that it was the way that it was because, like I said, when we made that podcast, like that was me letting you into my world with
Your
Giuseppe and like kind of showcasing some of the things that like the traditions that him and I have had, for the last 13 years.
you should ask him if he wants to go to the museum that weekend.
Oh, for his birthday? Okay.
See if he's interested because it's one of the best museums in the country. And
Maybe.
it's fun. It's got a lot of interactive stuff and like things you could I mean it's a science and industry. Like there's like little not experiments but little activities that you could do and it's a lot of fun. You should see if he's interested. It's his weekend. I don't want to like say, hey, let's go to the Museum of Science and Industry, and everybody's like bored to tears while I'm running around happy as a clam because I love that fucking place. But it's better than the Field Museum, in my opinion. The Field Museum's great because they have like, ancient Egyptian exhibits, and they have Sue. I think they still have Sue, the T-Rex, and they have, a lot of cool stuff. But the Museum of Science and Industry, that's fun. It's a lot of fun stuff.
Anyways.
But, yeah,
But
and
no. So I think that's why. And for me, like it's important to me to like and I know I get what you're saying that like I'm here now and like this is us celebrating your birthday now and whatever, but like I
I
don't
mean,
know.
we're 2 days away.
I understand, but again, to me like well, I'm bitter about not spending every day with you. Obviously, like that's a big thing that I talk about often. I don't know that we really ever mention it on the podcast, but it's something that bothers me every day because I want to have a normal married life and live together and all of the things. And I can't wait for
And
that to
that's a
change.
possibility. Yeah.
Right. So that's something that I struggle with on a daily basis and whatever. But so this just is kind of salt in the wound and then like that, like knowing that that's how you feel about birthdays and yes, this weekend we were together and whatever, but like that I can't be here for the
It's the celebration that's important to me. So when I say, okay, and this will be the final thought because we really got to wrap it up.
I know.
This it's all about the celebration. It's not necessarily about the exact day. It's about the celebration, and this is probably the first birthday that I've had or well, birthday celebration that I've had with a significant other that didn't end in disaster. I it's been a very long time. I have been involved with many a selfish people who made my birthday about them for some reason, which was the disappointing part. You are one of the first, and in a very long time, that actually, like, you know, wasn't it. I got to do what I wanted to do, not what you wanted to do. Like, you didn't drag me somewhere and make it seem like it was for my birthday, but it's because you wanted to do something. Like, that's that. So that's what I'm saying when there have been a lot of disappointments. So this weekend was just as important as if we'd done this all on my birthday. So it's not about the day. So when you say, now that you know how I feel about birthdays, yes, my birthday is very important to me internally, and it is important that I share that with you and with the kids. But it this weekend was perfectly fine and perfect to me. It wouldn't have made it any more special or better if it was Wednesday. It just would have been the date and whatever. That's fine. And you know what I'm gonna do on my birthday? I'm gonna work, and I'm in meetings all day, and I'm gonna order a pizza maybe, and I'm gonna play Conan like, it's gonna be just another day, but I had this weekend, so it's okay. And I'll be shocked if my children even know it's my birthday. I'm not even gonna say anything, but I don't even know my own dad's birthday. So I forgot. I think it's in April. I mean, I've got a while to remember it. So
Anyways.
that's been the podcast. Before we started, we didn't even know what we were talking about. And now we've gone over by 32 minutes. So we appreciate anybody that stuck through that jumble of thoughts to to screen, because we had no idea what we were talking about. We knew we were going to talk about the Swaparama. That was it. Um,
And we really are trying to figure out a way to go live at some point. We just always run out
so
of time.
here's the plan. Here's a little sneak peek, a little taste. We are going to go live one day on YouTube, probably one day soon. This was somewhat of a test with the iPhone setup as the camera and the tweaking of the audio settings. I'm going to play this back and make sure that it all works, and syncing the audio was tough. Assuming this goes well, the idea is to go live, not long, maybe a half hour live, separate from the podcast. I don't want to do a podcast live, but do a separate live. And I think I'm gonna prep myself, and we're gonna do the one chip challenge. That's gonna be the live.
Well, I knew we had said that when we were going to try and do it this weekend, but when that wouldn't be for the first time we would be able to do that would be Giuseppe's birthday
Right.
weekend.
Right. Yeah. So that's
Well, that's a couple weeks away.
right. It's I said a couple weeks away. It's gonna be within not soon, but last week of October, over the weekend, maybe earlier on in the weekend, so that we can recover.
I think that weekend, I don't know. I would almost think it would be better if we did it the weekend after that when it's just me and you for the
Oh, for Bill Burr.
Bill Burr, because I only say that because we're I feel like it's gonna be like every other weekend that we're together, Giuseppe's birthday, like we're gonna run out of time. Because
So
like
when we're looking at like a November 5th,
yeah.
that's what you want. Okay. So you heard it here first. November 5th, we're going to go live. I have no idea if anybody's going to watch it or if it's just going to be me and you suffering, but we will go live. We will go live for, I don't know, maybe 15, 20, 30 minutes, depending on how much we're in pain and suffering. And we will go live, and we will set a time so that we can announce it, so that if people
Yeah,
the
well,
10 or
we should,
15
like,
or 30 people.
hang out for a minute before we kill ourselves, and,
Sure.
like,
Sure, we'll do
if
you know what
anybody
we'll do some music or so well, I'll play a little piano for everybody. I'll do a music request for and we'll do something. We'll lead into it, and then that'll be the main show. Sound good?
Sure.
Okay. Well, that's it. This is 2 T's in a pod. I'm Tony,
And I'm Tralana.
and it is your daily reminder. It is us against the world.
It's my favorite time of day.
Thanks, everybody. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Okay, bye.